I am so delighted to see the room filling and filling fast. And I think that is the kind of energy that a brand evokes over and over again. I'm also equally happy to welcome my fellow coach, personal brand expert, the very insightful and very vibrant Shivani Malhotra. She's managing director at Positive Vibes Consulting and is a passionate advocate for people development. And now she's also stepping into the journey of an ICF coach. So all the best there, Shivani. Today's evening is about understanding your authentic voice and making it audible as well as visible on LinkedIn. Shivani brings her own story to the space today evening of how LinkedIn helped her show up with more clarity, connect with authenticity, and create new opportunities for herself, both professionally and personally. As we begin, here's a thought. The best branding is built on your truth, not what you have achieved, but the story of your journey. So let's now dive into a real, relatable, and refreshing conversation with Shivani.
Thank you. Thank you, Saravjot, for the rather illustrious introduction. I'm really humbled. And thank you so much for hosting this webinar today. I am sure that the two of us will add a lot of value today into this discussion. So everybody, hello, everyone. Welcome. You all have joined from different parts of the country. Very happy, very excited to see you. And welcome to this webinar on personal branding, or as I'd like to call it, how to make LinkedIn fall in love with you professionally, of course. So let me ask you a quick question before we begin. Have you, ever updated your LinkedIn only when you were job hunting and then sort of ghosted it like an old school friend? How many here are guilty as charged? You can put in the comment box. Oh, I can see raise of hands here. Okay. Okay. Guilty as charged. A lot of us. I've also done it. That's the mistake that we do, guys. So, well, that's what we're going to be discussing. That we're going to be flipping that script today, because LinkedIn is not just an online CV; it is your digital stage, if I may call it. And today we'll talk about a lot of things. I can see a lot of questions around what should I post, when should I post, should I take LinkedIn Premium, and all those are very, very valid questions. All of this tells me one thing, that the fact that you are here today is the first step that you have taken to honestly and religiously work on your personal brand using LinkedIn. So give yourselves a pat on the back. This is the first step. All right. So you don't have to wait anymore. So let's start today's session of knowing how to not just exist on LinkedIn, but to exude your presence on LinkedIn. And before I go on to sharing what I have in store today with all of you, I'd like to run a short poll here. Lakshan, can we have the poll? And all of you need to respond to that. So the question is, what's your current relationship with LinkedIn? I use it daily. I check it once a week or twice a week. I rarely open it. I have a profile, that's it. Wow. 80% of the people, 81% of the people are using it daily. Whenever I run this poll, it's interesting that whenever I run this poll, majority of the people say I use it daily. Okay. But when I ask them that how do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 in terms of your profile, in terms of your engagement, in terms of the overall value that LinkedIn is bringing to your brand? Any guesses on the percentage? Shripad has said it in the chat box. Shripad says, thank you for saying it, using it daily, but mostly in the read-only format, in the read-only mode. And this is a reality. Read-only mode, occasionally comment on some posts, like some posts. Yes, it's less than 2%. You're right. So this question in itself answers what we are trying to talk today, that going on that platform every day is not going to help. Scrolling through posts, not engaging with anyone. I have seen a lot of people build, when they start off with their journey on building personal brands on LinkedIn, I have seen them being able to become a brand themselves only by commenting, only by resharing with their own thoughts, only by engaging with other posts, commenting on group posts, and not posting at all. I have seen people doing that, and they do it so beautifully. So the first myth that I want to break is that I need to post on LinkedIn to be very, very, active and to start building my personal brand. You need to, yes, but don't look at it as a roadblock that if I don't post, there's no point of going on LinkedIn also. I'll just see what people are doing. Most of the people go on LinkedIn to know what's happening with others. किसका नया जॉब लगा, किसको कितना साल हो गया, किसका प्रमोशन हुआ. And now I see, it's April, so a spate of people updating their career journeys, and most of us go on LinkedIn for that. I also go on LinkedIn for that a lot of times. Okay, but that's not the only thing that we need to go for. So I'll just share a few slides that I have with me today. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, Shivani.
Yep. All right. So we've understood your LinkedIn journey. So we all know why LinkedIn matters today. It's no longer a job hunting tool. And here are some statistics, and these are real statistics. 6 people hired every minute on LinkedIn. 80% of the B2B leads come through LinkedIn. Now, here, what I'm going to talk about, today I'm not going to talk about any gyan. I'm actually going to talk to you about my own journey and how LinkedIn has helped me really flip, my own brand, grow my company. And I'll tell you how I did that. So way back in 2020, I started my own venture in 2017. But I've been working since 2004. Just a little bit of background about myself. I'm an HR professional, passed out in 2004 from SCMHRD, and then joined the corporate world. Worked with DCM Shriram, KPMG, Yum Brands for about 11 years. And then I quit the corporate world and I started my own venture, which is Positive Vibes Consulting. I started it in 2017. And from 2017 till 2020, or maybe 21, I was like a lot of people, I was always in the read-only mode. You all have said you go on LinkedIn daily. I used to go on LinkedIn once in 2 weeks, once in 3 weeks. I had a myth that my work will speak for myself. Why should I go on LinkedIn and ask people for work? Because in my mind, I had the impression that LinkedIn is for building connections and then you ask for work or you ask for a job. And I think a lot of people think that LinkedIn is for building connections and getting business. It's not that. So then I was working, but I was getting work through referrals. And there was only a certain limit. And like every entrepreneur thinks that abhi to shuru hua hai, abhi to time lagega, it'll take some time for my venture to take off. Not realizing that digital footprint is very, very important. 2021, COVID tha, not much work. So I started randomly posting on LinkedIn. I said, okay, let me start. Let me start posting on LinkedIn. We launched some courses also. We thought everybody's, sitting at home. Sabke paas time hai. We'll start some online courses. And as part of that, we started promoting. Suddenly, from not being there on LinkedIn at all, we started with promoting our work. Promoting as in, come join our workshop, come for a master class. And nobody came. Okay, nobody came. So that then, really, really pushed me to think that there is something that I'm missing. And that's when I consciously started working on first building my own brand. Why would people come for my workshop? Who knows me? Who am I? Why would they spend 1 hour or a 1.5 hour on a Friday evening and come for a workshop, to attend? Can you imagine? I had, wanted to do this workshop way back in 2021 as well, this masterclass. And we sent out like a salary promotion. We sent out a poster on LinkedIn and saying that it's for free. We didn't even get one registration. because I myself had some 500 followers. So just imagine if I'm telling people, come, I'll teach you how to go on LinkedIn, and I don't post, people don't see any engagement on my page, how will they come to me? So that's when I realized that this platform is very, very powerful. And cut to 2022, 23, in fact, when we closed the financial year, whatever I was earning till 2020, we did 5x in 2023. There are numbers, it's everywhere. We're a private limited company, everything is available on MCA. Why did we do that? I'll tell you, 80% of the business that came was through LinkedIn, and the remaining 20% that got converted was also because of LinkedIn. Can you tell me how? Can someone tell me how that 20% came? Today also, when we get our business, most of it comes from not directly from LinkedIn. Not directly. It's not like people are messaging me and saying, okay, come and do this. Nothing like that. But LinkedIn helps me in converting my pitches, because what I do is all there as a proof. What I say in my pitch, LinkedIn is ratifying that as a proof.
So what
Because
I'm,
I don't,
so what
yeah,
I'm
sorry.
understanding is, Shivani, that it's also helping you build credibility as you're going along.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you have credibility, that is when people start trusting you. That is when they start approaching you. And that is when you start getting work. And if you go and see my LinkedIn page, I don't promote my work. It's not like I'm a trainer, I do workshops, come get this workshop done from me. What I do is I try and add value from whatever I'm doing. For example, if I run a workshop on storytelling, rather than saying I've run a workshop on storytelling, I would want that every post of mine should have a takeaway for the readers. So what did I do there? What were the key takeaways? How did we go about it? That's what somebody would be interested in, right? Otherwise, why would somebody just say, they'll say, okay, good for you. You did a workshop. What's the big deal? What's in it for me? So the what's in it for me is very important in LinkedIn. What's in it for me as a reader, as your connection? What's in it for me? And if you focus on that one thing, there is no stopping. So if you see, I look at LinkedIn like this bucket. There is this huge platform of LinkedIn full of opportunities. Okay, we're all out there to sort of, have some career outcomes, which means either, enhance our knowledge or get a job or get clients. But all of that, you cannot reach this stage 4, honestly, if you don't have the stage 3. I would say this is the most important bucket in this entire, the most important, I would say, piece of the puzzle in this entire LinkedIn frame, which is personal branding. Unless and until people don't know you, unless and until people don't see you as a thought leader, as an expert in what you do, and unless and until they don't see you as somebody who genuinely adds value to you, uh, you cannot get the stage 4. Any thoughts? Anything from anyone?
Where did you begin when it came to your personal brand?
2021, I said, no, 2021 was when I started work. I had about 500 followers. Okay, one more thing. Followers have got nothing to do. This is another myth that I want to bust. I have 50,000 followers. I have 1 lakh followers. I have 1,50,000 followers. It doesn't matter. What matters is what is the engagement. I've seen people having just 5,000 followers or 4,000 followers, but their posts garner so much engagement. There are so many comments, there are so many people reposting it. That is the real value add.
So, Shivani, how much time does it take? And I'll tell you from where I'm coming. It requires consistency, but
Absolutely.
consistency without outcome at times takes away the motivation. So, how should one actually start looking at it ki bhai, this is the time frame, I am not even going to concern about any of the outcome. See, we are human beings, and there is deep down there is always some set of expectation that we have.
Yes, absolutely. And I totally agree with you. See, any kind of social media platform is a game of patience. Let me be very honest with you. And platforms like Instagram and Facebook still have an option of running sponsored ads, which are very affordable. So a lot of people can garner followers very, very easily and very soon. LinkedIn is not like that. So one thing that you have to tell yourself is that it is going to take time, but it is not something that is impossible. Okay. When I started posting, I used to hardly get 1 like, 2 likes. So what I started was, I a lot of times I have seen people, they say मेरे पास time नहीं है post करने का. I don't have the time to post. I don't know what to post. So when this time thing came, what I did was, this came to my mind also, कि I'm, hustling, I'm doing so many other things. Where is the time to write on social media? So what I did, I made this entire LinkedIn as a part of my yearly goal. And I used to put it as part of my weekly to-do list. Start doing that. Please start putting a schedule to LinkedIn. It is one of your tasks. It is not a by the way activity that you do. If you're really serious about personal branding, it is a task that has to be calendarized like any other important task of the week, calendarized, put into a schedule, make an Excel sheet for every month. You can start with 1 post a week. That's all right. But we normally recommend 2 to 3 posts. All right. But even if you can't do it, even if that sounds too much, I think 1 post is still enough. So coming back to where I was, that it does take time. When I started posting, some posts used to go just like that. What happens is, when you consistently post, you see the kind of engagement that comes, and you get to know yourself that what is the content that people want to see and what is the content that people don't want to see. For example, right, generic, thoughts, like those one-liner, what do we call them? One-liner, motivation statements, which are written by somebody else. I see so many people posting and there is no engagement on that. And they don't even give credit. That is what I don't also like. If you're picking it up from WhatsApp, please say credits WhatsApp. I have not written this. So when you are consistent, Vibhuti, to answer your question, you will yourself get to know that what is the kind of content your people, your connections, your network wants to consume. And what is it that people are not interested in? So in my experience, posts, and I will come to that framework, posts that are authentic, posts that are fresh, posts that are written from the heart, I think those are the posts which garner the maximum number of engagement. But posts which are generic, which is some gyan, I don't think. Though I've never seen those kind of posts garner any engagement. So once you start being, but the key game is consistency. So once you are consistent, you get to know your audience. What is it that my audience wants? And then you slowly start getting the right engagement. But like I said, every social media platform is a matter of patience. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Shivani, there are some questions in the chat also. Do you want me to pick them up now, or we answer?
Yeah, I was just reading those. So Subramanian Krishnan says, I throw out followers who do not add value to my network. Absolutely. So people who are not follower conscious do this, and it's a very right thing to do. Yeah.
There's a question from Ranjana here, with who all to share the post, connections or everyone?
Everyone. Why would you not share a post with everyone to see? Because if you share your post only with connections, then it is visible only to your connections. But if you share it with everyone, then even if your connections like it, so their connections can also see it. So your post has a much bigger outreach. Okay? Okay. Some practical examples. Sorry,
Manmeet is raising. Yeah, Manmeet is raising a hand.
Yes, Manmeet. Yep.
I can wait. I don't want to jeopardize the process you're following, Shivani. If you're okay, I can say my question right now.
No, please go ahead.
I'm coming from what Vibhuti said. I think I write pretty consistently. It's impossible for me to not write from the heart. I am mostly authentic. In fact, I love writing. It gives me a lot of clarity for my own thought process, if not for my followers. It gives me a lot of value when I'm expressing out there on LinkedIn. But what I'm coming from, what Vibhuti says, it's somewhere demotivating at times. Like, I'm not sure, is this even helping? I mean, I'm confused. So last year I followed a regime. I used to post a prompt for writing and with my thoughts, and I thought that let me contribute to people's life. They maybe somebody will pick up and write. But when I did not get the results, I discontinued with the process. I did it for the whole year. So
Mm.
probably I knew that, okay, this is not working. I got that. But at times, like the way you're showing me the figures, I don't know where this is working, where the ripple effect is happening. So, how to stay motivated is the question probably I want you to address.
Sure. And I think that's a question a lot of people would have on their mind, because you don't always see success. And also the algo is sometimes very weird. I have seen absolutely, random posts getting viral, and very, very good. And it's happened with me also. I have posted, sometimes I thought, okay, this is a great post. This post will go viral, should go viral. And it garners some 30, 40 likes or something like that. But there was a post that I wrote, which was a very random from the heart post, but I think it resonated with a lot of people. That post got 5,000 likes and it went viral. So 250 people shared it. And it was a very, very, very simple post on professionalism. But I think it struck a chord with people. So I think I don't know what kind of post do you write, but I think any post that strikes a chord with people, and any post that people think that there is some takeaway from that post. I think those are the kind of posts that people engage on. One way to do it, I've seen a lot of people writing about contemporary topics, wanting people to comment about provocative topics. Okay. Now, that is also a way to build engagement, but then you have to be very, very careful, because it can't be, okay, we had something called moonlighting. It was done to death. A lot of people, spoke about it randomly, all of that. But anything political, anything religious, I have seen people writing those kind of posts just to garner engagement, which is also not right. Okay. So when it comes to motivation, Manmeet, I think you need to deep dive into your posts once again and see whether your posts are striking a chord with people or not. There must be some posts, if you go on your feed, there would be some posts which would have garnered good engagement. Try and find out those posts, see the pattern, and you'll be very clear in terms of what is it that your network or your audience wants to hear from Manmeet. And that is when you will start seeing success. Okay. Any more questions? Saravjot, do we have anything?
No, we don't have question as such, just people sharing their views on the
Yeah,
kind of
like
posts
Ravi says,
that
controversial posts seem to get
seem
most
to get
attention.
most attention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, the post that has polarization of thoughts get a lot of attention. See, that's a way to get attention, but is it something that you would want? How does it help you in your career journey? I don't know. So if it's only a matter of getting comments, engagement, followers, maybe, but I honestly don't encourage it. I don't promote it, and I don't do it at all. I have Ankur Variku here. He's somebody that I think a lot of us follow, and I thought he would be the best example of building a personal brand on LinkedIn, because he also incidentally started, in I think in 2020, his LinkedIn journey. And today he's about 2.8 million followers, and his content is something that people really enjoy. He's not somebody whose content is just there, for people to consume or is being promoted, and hence it is getting so much of engagement. It's nothing like that. So when I was going through his profile, I thought that I could come up with three things that I could resonate with. And that's what I have converted into an acronym, which is ACE. How do you ace your LinkedIn profile? And for me, the first A is authenticity. I think Ankur's or any of the good influencers, if you see today, the posts are authentic. They are not the posts which are written by ChatGPT, maybe. So I always say that ChatGPT may hold the pen for you and write a post for you, but it will never have your heart and soul. It will never have your heart and soul. So if you write the post yourself, always write try and write it. Maybe you can use ChatGPT as an enabler to work on it, to make it more. If you don't know the right words, impactful words, that's fine. Use it as an enabler, but don't depend on ChatGPT to run your LinkedIn. And now I think a lot of people can make out that this is a ChatGPT written post. Yes or no? So many people. I mean, the other day, I'll give you an example. The other day, I was reading a LinkedIn post written by somebody who I was working with in my previous organization. And for a fact, I knew that the person did not have such polished English. And this is not very long back, just a couple of years back. But the post was impeccable, impeccably written in great English, which is not bad. But the way it came out, it didn't seem to be that person. It didn't seem to be. The ideas seem to be very made up. So very easy to know that it's a Chat GPT generated post. So use Chat GPT, but don't let Chat GPT write think for you or write your thoughts. Write from the heart. That is the authenticity that I always would encourage. And those are the posts that get the maximum number of engagement, which are authentic, which are fresh. The second part, the C, is consistency. And consistency, not just in posting, okay, but also engagement. Consistency is not about I'm posting every day, mera kaam hai LinkedIn pe jana, posting, whatever, and then log out. No, you're not going to get engagement. In fact, I'm going to speak about it also in the later slides, but I'll just tell you here, if you spend the first 15 minutes of LinkedIn when you log in on engaging on other people's posts, which means liking, commenting, sharing, reposting, and then you post your own post, the LinkedIn algo warms up, and there is a fat chance of your own post getting good engagement. Remember that.
Krishnan,
So every
Krishnan,
day.
Krishnan just commented, Shivani, that I stay on for half an hour to ensure that there is engagement.
Excellent, excellent. And that is what really would get you engagement. Posting will not get you engagement. How you engage on LinkedIn will get you engagement. Not just from your network, but the algo also works like that. The more you engage with people, the more engagement comes on your profile as well. So extremely important to engage. And the third thing that I think really works, the E of the ACE framework is educate and empower, which means share knowledge. And that positions you as a thought leader. For example, I'll give you a very simple example. You're invited for a panel discussion. So somebody would say, oh, great, I'm invited for a panel discussion. Let me put it on LinkedIn. So I will put a poster on LinkedIn saying, very excited to go for this panel discussion. Recently I attended a panel and all, this was the topic, and that's it. Now, as a part of your network, how does it change my life if you went for a panel discussion? Vis-a-vis, if you say, oh, I recently went for a panel discussion on, let's say, 4-day work week. Okay. And here's what was discussed. Here are the key takeaways. And here are the key insights. In case you missed it, here's the recording. Now, here, when I see those excerpts, okay, this was discussed, this is the takeaway, ye bhi hota hai, I'll most likely go to the episode and watch it also. And I then comment on it. That is the value add that you do through your posts. I attended a webinar, I went for a talk. Fine, good for you. But what's in it for me? What's in it for me? The value add I get is if you share with me on LinkedIn, what was the key takeaway? What did you do? Some new tool, right? And that positions you as a thought leader also. That is what positions you as a thought leader. The more you share, the more you tell people what you know, and do it with the mindset of giving. With LinkedIn, the rule is give more and take less. It will automatically come to you. So this was the ACE framework that I wanted to. Okay. Now, a lot of people tell me, यार लिंक्डइन तो वही लोग करते हैं जिनको प्रमोशन करना होता है अपना, जिनके पास टाइम होता है, ठीक है? हम तो फुल टाइम जॉब में हैं, वी आर इन अ फुल टाइम जॉब, हमारे पास कहाँ टाइम है लिंक्डइन का? Now I'll give you an example of a person. I'm sure a lot of you know him. He's a very senior person. He's the CHRO of Reliance Jio. Very busy person. But if you look at his LinkedIn journey, his LinkedIn posts, wow, very consistent, very simple. Just look at that post there. So a simple conversation with an Uber driver, he's turned it into a mini masterclass on smart work. And it is so relatable. It is, and this is the best example of the ACE framework, authentic. He's very consistent with these kind of stories. Please go on his profile. I've had him on my podcast as well, and he was so good. And always value adding, the E part, educate and empower. So if such a senior person who's working full time can take out the time and leverage the power of this platform, why can't we? And look at it. It's a very simple conversation that he's just put here. And if you go on his page, you'll get it's conversations with Uber drivers, it's conversation with his wife, with somebody from his family, but everything has something to give. Every post is simple to understand. It is written from the heart, and it gives some kind of a lesson. So storytelling, why I showed this to you and why I think we need to learn from him, what we need to learn from him is that stories are a very powerful way to connect with your audience. Extremely powerful. Stories evoke emotions. And when you have that emotional connect on a post, that post will definitely garner a lot of engagement. So use storytelling as much as you can do in your posts. It really works. So we'll come to a poll now. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? So Lakshan, can we have the poll? So what's your biggest blocker to showing up on LinkedIn? Not sure what to post? Fear of judgment? Don't have the time? Don't see the point?
And guys, you can choose more than one option, okay? It's like a checkbox, not a MCQ.
Okay, out of 39 people, only 19, 20. Okay, we're waiting. We want to know this.
Lakshan,
Don't see the point.
someone on the chat is saying they can't see the poll.
Yeah, I see that. Let me just see what I can.
So we do have a small percentage of don't see the point.
Yes, it's interesting.
And as the poll is building, Shivani, I'm curious personally. I'm hearing you use this word engagement.
Yeah.
Engaging. I'm not sure if I understand it very well. What is
Engagement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm responding to people on, engaging as in liking posts, commenting posts, or does it go beyond this?
Very good question, Saravjot, and I think a very valid question. Not everybody might know the meaning of engagement. So engagement is when you engage with other people's posts, like you said, like, comment, repost with my thoughts. That's one part of engagement. The other part of engagement is growing your network. And when I say network, it is not, sending a follow request or connection request to people. It is actually reaching out to people and building your connections. So when you connect with someone, I always say it's always good to add a short personal note. Like today, I was very pleasantly surprised. Just today, 2 hours before the workshop, a very senior colleague, we've worked together in the past, and it's always been a very professional relationship. He reached out saying that, "Hi, Shivani, can we have a 20-minute chat? No agenda." Wow. Somebody writes a message like that, you really, really want to connect. So I jumped at, I said, yes, we will talk. So make sure when you are reaching out to people, so connection is also reaching out to people without agendas and building on your network. It's so interesting that over the last 4 years that I've been very active on LinkedIn, I have built such good friendships with people that I've met on LinkedIn. Really. And I had also done a post on it where, I met a couple of my LinkedIn connects for the first time in person out of LinkedIn. And it was so brilliant. And so you never know. This platform has the, the power of really giving you very meaningful connections. So engagement is one, engaging on other people's posts, sharing, liking, reposting. Liking comments is also part of engagement. And the second part of engagement is building your network, which is reaching out on DMs to people for just connecting. And I'll also say, okay, I'll skip it, but I'll say one of the biggest turnoffs, I think, at least for me, is when somebody reaches out to me on a DM the first time and they sell their services. I will not take your services. Sorry. It's a big no. Because then what it is telling me is that you're like any other salesperson who is wanting to sell your services to me without even knowing what I want. Who am I? Do I really want your services? And do we know each other? So it's a big, big no. So always focus on first building your connect, building a relationship. And then, synergies happen. You may end up working together. You may not end up working together, but you still maybe, at some point in time, you may, find anything. You may find value. Okay, so coming back to the post, I hope, Saravjot, that answers your question.
Definitely. Thank you.
One thing, Shivani, I would like to put a thought here, right? So I completely get your point, and but what I have also realized is that when you reach out to people, if you do not have an agenda, they very clearly ask you, okay, what's the agenda you want to talk about? And if you don't have an agenda, they just shut you off. And this
Yeah.
has I have really experienced this multiple times where I have been genuine in reaching out to people just to know them, but I guess people today have enough requests like this because like 40 people are attending this workshop and getting the information from you. I'm sure 4,000 people would be getting this same information from somebody else as well. So everybody
Correct.
is doing almost the similar thing. How do you create that difference?
So see, I get your point. And honestly, when somebody reaches out to me on DM with just a hi, they'll just write a hi. So I don't know what to say to that. Then then there'll be another hi, or there'll be a good morning. So what I suggest is that on LinkedIn, if you're reaching out to people, a greeting is good, but do mention why you're reaching out to them. If it so a short liner in terms of good morning, I'm Shivani, HR professional, would love to connect with you. If you'd like to let me know if you'd like to connect for a short call to know each other. Okay. I don't think those kind of requests are slammed by anyone. Maybe they would still be slammed, but very few people would do that to you. So it's very important to tell people even in the chat box. It's how you write the message. Like I have somebody on my LinkedIn and I have ended up blocking the person every day. A good morning, and there's nothing after that. Every day a good morning, and this is something that I will also again speak about later. But honestly, LinkedIn is very fast becoming Instagram also. So if people are slamming, probably they're not understanding that intentions are not like that. But I think it's also important on how you reach out to people and what kind of message you draft when you reach out to people. Like I said, this person just messaged that, hi, can we connect for a short call? It's a no agenda call, just wanting to know each other. Why would I slam it? Unless the person's profile looks very suspicious. That's a different thing. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So coming back to the poll, 83% not sure what to post, 43% fear of judgment, and it is true. The reason I did not post for so many years, I started working, LinkedIn came in 2007-8, and I created my profile instantly there. But for 10 years, if you see my post before 2021, you will see I would have just done my job updates, working here now, working there now, that's it. And the reason I did not post actively was the fear of judgment. It's a reality. One is not sure what to post, but fear of judgment is a reality because social media can sometimes be very ruthless. Do you have any questions here? Sorry. Okay.
How do we overcome the fear of judgment?
Well,
How did you do it, if I were to ask?
I honestly stopped caring. I'm giving a very brutally honest answer. I don't care, because if I'm writing the post in the way that it's supposed to be written, with my own comments, with my own opinion, with my thoughts on it, it is not offending anybody. Uh, I've just become comfortable in my skin that it's my opinion. People may or may not like it, and if people don't like it, I should not feel bad about it. So, in one word, I stopped caring.
So it's basically, I think, Shivani, also, it's the way you shifting your mindset to why you are there.
It's absolutely. When you make that shift in your mindset that I'm here for a purpose, I'm here for connections, I'm here for meaningful connections, I'm here to build something, then I think the fear of judgment goes. And not to say that when you do all this, people will still not comment, things that they should not comment. It's a fact. Social media, you can't really control what people comment on your posts. But it's okay to take it with a pinch of salt and just move on. My strategy for such kind of people is I don't engage. Because the more they are there for some other purpose. They are not there for the purpose that you are there for. They are there for a purpose to get attention at your cost. And if you engage back with them, you are giving them, exactly what they want. So my strategy is to not engage with such people. And if I find comments which are very, offensive, I delete them and I block the people. That's the way to go about it.
Right. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. So we're done with the poll. Okay. This is, yeah. Now, your profile isn't bragging, okay? It's a proof of credibility. And I always feel that your profile should be working for you even when you are not working, even when you are not online. That's the power of this platform. So it's very important that you build a good profile. Okay, so before we talk about posting and engagement and all of that, let's start from the basic. How good is my profile? And the good thing with LinkedIn is it gives you a score. So please go on LinkedIn, check your profile score. Only if your profile is fully complete, LinkedIn will give you a full score on it. And how do you complete your profile is all of these things. So there's a headline, all right? Now, in the headline, don't say what you do. Say how you can help or how you can add value. Okay? In the about section, now I've seen so many people pasting their CV in the about section. No. Please do not use the about section to paste your CV. Tell your story. Highlight your achievements. And most importantly, do write your values. Because a lot of people will resonate probably with your value system and may want to connect with you. Okay? Then there's a banner which has come on LinkedIn, I think a couple of years back. Great thing. So use visuals tagline that speaks your value here. It's a very good opportunity because see, people don't stay on your page for a long time. If somebody wants to look you up, they'll just see. And if your banner is catchy, if your headline is catchy, they'll stay and they would want to engage and maybe reach out to you and connect with you. Okay. And featured section, very important. Pin the posts that have garnered good engagement. Pin the posts that position you as a thought leader. Pin the posts that speak about who you are, the kind of work that you do. Okay. Show, don't tell. I always go with it. So showcasing is not bragging. Showcase your work, but do it subtly. And always remember to add value with however you're showcasing your work. Also, what I've missed mentioning here is the testimonials always help. So try and take as many testimonials from your network, and it's from people who you have worked with. It just sort of solidifies or cements your credibility further. Okay. Any questions on the profile part? This is just the basic profile, but very important because this will also drive engagement. Yes.
Shivani, in the chat sometime back, I think Shripad had put a comment. He wants to know the difference between branding versus advertising. Saying that, a lot of people, there's so much of stuff there that how do you stand out, whether it's through your profile or through your posts? How to tell the difference between whether I am advertising or whether I am branding?
Very good question. Excellent question, Shripad. I think very relevant to this webinar today. Advertising, as the word says, is advertising. I'll give you an example. Advertising is when I say, I write CVs. Please contact me if you want to get a stellar resume created. That's advertising. Okay. Branding is, here's how I helped craft a CV for a mentee using the STAR model, using the STAR method. I give a portion of what is STAR, and this is how the CV helped him get the job. That's the difference. The situation, the behavior, the impact. I call it the SBI model, a very, very famous model in feedback also. Situation, behavior, impact. So what I did, what was the situation, how I helped, and what was the impact that it created. That is branding. And not just saying, sorry?
Can we, I think it's somebody's unmuted. Can we request Sajid?
Saravjot, I think you can, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, it's
thank you.
muted. And there's a question Manmeet is asking, what is the featured section on the profile?
Featured section is where you can show your, you showcase your posts. Some selected posts you can showcase it. So what it will do is, if you've written that post, let's say if you post regularly, your posts keep going down, right? So people have to scroll. But if you want that a certain post should be showcased, let's say if you went as a TEDx speaker or anything, you did something that you feel is worth showcasing, that you can pin that post in the featured section. So what it does is, when I visit your profile, I can see, I will not scroll through your entire LinkedIn post journey unless I'm really very interested, but I will definitely see the featured parts because that has limited number of posts. So it's very important how you select those posts. Those posts should be relevant to what you do, how you want to position yourself, and should definitely talk about the value add that you bring to people in through your work. That's the featured section.
Shivani, do also add about the hashtag part, right?
I
These
will
days.
come to that. Yeah.
So before that, Shivani, I know you are Positive Vibes is also a recruiter. So there's an interesting comment from one of our audience members saying that the challenge for job seekers is that hiring managers are not as active. So would you like to comment on that?
I don't agree with that. So Saravjot, you know that we just recently, closed a position with a client referred by you, and we closed that position through LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't agree with that hiring managers are not on LinkedIn. They are on LinkedIn. In fact, I would say since the time LinkedIn has come, portals like Naukri and Indeed are in fact losing their sheen. Because the kind of profiles and the kind of relevance that you get on LinkedIn is much better. As a recruiter, I'm saying, we do recruitments as well. So, and my team is also here. Any of you can comment if you want to, people who are actively into recruitments. LinkedIn gives us much more relevant, candidatures, if I may say that, rather than, taking membership of Naukri or anything like that. So it's not true. There are hiring managers actively searching on LinkedIn. Point is your profile being visible to them? That's
exactly.
the point.
Yeah.
Are you visible to the hiring managers? And to do that, you have to work on your LinkedIn profile. You have to have, I always tell people, so Positive Vibes also does LinkedIn profile optimization and CV building. So when we're doing it, we tell people that write down the keywords in your LinkedIn profile. If I'm looking at let's say a job switch or an industry switch, I'm in a certain industry, I want to get into another industry. I'm in FMCG, I want to get into, let's say, financial services, but nowhere on my LinkedIn is the word financial services mentioned. So how will the financial services recruiters find me on LinkedIn? So use those keywords. So in your bio, say, an FMCG and financial services enthusiast. So you've just put it there. So the algo takes it, that financial services, your CV will come there. So those are some tips, and there are many more like that. But yes, what is more important? Let me tell you, every recruiter, we must be having thousands of, maybe lakhs of recruitment consultancies in our country today. I don't think anybody is there who is not on LinkedIn actively searching for people. But the point is your profile visible? That's the question.
And Shripad and Manmeet, thank you for those very encouraging responses. Shripad says he actually got a job at the age of 55 in top
Awesome.
5 Indian IT companies, and Manmeet got 3 freelance projects on LinkedIn. Awesome.
Excellent. Excellent. Superb. Okay. Now, recommended frequency. A lot of people say, what is the recommended frequency? Now, recommended frequency is 2 to 3 times a week. But if you're just starting, like I said, I have seen people see success with just engaging on other people's posts also. So if you want to take your time, take your time. There is no hurry. Start with even 1 post a week. Okay, if you can, if you're in that frame of mind to start writing, start with 1 post. So there is no right or wrong here. It is your own pace. So take it as per your own pace and your own comfort. Okay, but what I normally recommend is that if you consistently post 2 to 3 times a week, I am someone who does not advocate posting every day. I think it becomes an overload for people to see posts every day. People may have different opinions, but I personally don't see value in that, and I don't do it. I think why 2 to 3 times a week works is because it keeps you visible without overwhelming your audience, and it also gives the LinkedIn algo enough content to work with without dropping your engagement. In fact, I have seen because when you start out, I had also hired an agency 4 years back. Not to say the agency was bad, but what they could not do was write my style. So what they recommended was you have to build your LinkedIn credibility. So you start posting every day, and we'll post for you. I said, okay. Everyday posts garnered absolutely pathetic engagement because people, after some point in time, there's a fatigue. Seeing the same kind of posts or seeing the same kind of, unless your posts are drastically different, unless every day you have a boom of a post, unless every day people really want to see you posting something. But if you're just posting because I have to post every day on LinkedIn because, post karna hai, kuch to post karna hai. I've heard a lot of people saying, kuch bhi post kar do yaar, post karna hai. That's not the point. That's not what will give you any kind of engagement. So recommended frequency is 2 to 3 times per week. Like I said, this is a pro tip. If you're starting or just testing waters, begin with 1 or 2 posts, focus on quality, and then gradually increase. It's better to be consistent with 2 posts than to drop 5 in a week and ghost for the next 3. So quality always on LinkedIn takes, over than quantity. I have seen, I personally experienced that. What to avoid? Like I said, posting daily without engagement can lead to content fatigue and algorithm burnout also. Posting just for it. Filler posts always dilute your brand. So if you don't have anything to post, it is okay not to post. But just don't post because kuch to post karna hai. I've seen this also happening, ignoring comments. So I've posted and my work is over. अभी जो नीचे हो रहा है, जो सब comments आ रहे हैं, ठीक है. I'll see if I have time to respond, I'll respond. No. If people are taking out the time to comment, to engage, to read your post, comment on it, sharing their thoughts, give them that respect back, please. Don't ignore comments because engagement is always a two-way street. So make sure that you acknowledge the comments, you thank the people or whatever you want to respond with, but please do respond and acknowledge. Okay, some tips I'm going to give on LinkedIn engagement. And this is especially, for people who were asking, if I write still, there is no engagement. So some tips, see if this helps you. I've always believed in this, that people who are on social media, whether it is LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, have a very short span of attention. So your first line has to be a hook. It has to be a hook. Only then they will read what's going next. So I'll give you an example of a recent post that I did. I went for doing a workshop on storytelling in business presentations. So I could have just, as a part, if I was doing the advertising, like Shripad said, if I was doing that, I would just have said, "Oh, great to do a workshop on, art of storytelling for finance professionals, etc., etc." How I started that post was that nobody likes to sit through presentations that look like a maths class. Okay, something different, something at least that will take your attention. Maybe you may still not want to read it, but you'll at least be interested in what is this all about. So if you see a lot of people who get engagement on their content, write it differently. It's not, you're writing the same thing, but you're starting, your first line should be your scroll stopper. Use question, bold statement, or relatable confessions. For example, I almost quit LinkedIn. Here's why I didn't. This is a real post. Somebody had written this, garnered a lot of engagement. Second, as I said, add value, not just updates. Share learnings. Share, even if you've attended a webinar, even if you've gone for a panel discussion, please share your learnings, your reflections. People love the posts that they can learn from, they can relate to, or they feel inspired by. So for example, here are the key takeaways from a panel that I just attended. Third is use minimal emojis. I know when you ask ChatGPT to write something for you, it will give you all kinds of rockets and stars and everything else. Please don't use those, because overdoing emojis takes away the attention from the main message. It is kind of distracting. And use bullets. If you're writing a slightly longish post, please use bullets, please use icons, but very minimal ones, and pace it out. All right? Don't just make it into one paragraph. This I've already told you, and this is very important. Engage before you post. Spend the first 10-15 minutes commenting, engaging with others' posts before sharing yours. This warms up the algorithm and brings more eyes to your content. Okay. Another way to do it is, another way to write your posts is ask questions that spark content. So don't just share, but invite conversation. So do you think job hopping hurts your career? Drop your take, where you are actually asking. One more thing I've seen, and I've also done this, and it helps in adding good insights to your post, which is you tag people. So if there is a certain, let's say, a topic that I've posted on, and I want to know what the other experts of that topic, people who are relevant, who are doing it, what is their take on it, I may want to tag them. And so what that tagging does is, it's not just to sort of, get their likes or their comments, but it is also to add a lot of enrichment into that post that I have already put, because they will add their own insights. And when there are 4 or 5 people who add their own insights, that's when the discussion becomes very enriching. So more and more people would want to read and engage. Respond to comments like a human. I've already said this. Simple thanks is good, but a thoughtful reply is definitely gold. I always encourage that whenever you're engaging on a post, please do add your perspective as well, because this cements your position further as a thought leader, which doesn't mean that it has to be different. Even if you agree with it, tell them what you agree with. Okay, what you loved about the post. So LinkedIn gives you auto prompts. Just say love it. So a lot of us just click on love it, love it, love it. What did you love? So take out that time and put that. Okay. We've already spoken about this. Post consistently, but not constantly. 2-3 times a week is great. Build a rhythm that your audience can also expect. And I've always said this, quality always wins over quantity. LinkedIn polls, excellent way to garner engagement. Very, very good way. And if you really ask some pertinent questions, you'll see a lot of people engaging on those kind of posts. So I think what works is a combination. This is a question that a lot of you ask, that what should we post? So the first thing to do is make it a part of your to-do list, have a plan around it. Secondly, when you decide what to post, keep a combination. So don't just go with long posts or short posts. do a combination, do a poll, do a carousel. You know what's a carousel? Carousel is that a PDF file, and it's a series of screens. You need to keep scrolling it, and the content keeps coming. Uh, Carousels are a lot, used a lot by people who are wanting to share some kind of knowledge on a particular topic. So do a combination of short posts, do a combination of one-liners, a video. Videos garner a lot of engagement on LinkedIn. And honestly, that's because when people see you in reality, when people see you, they hear you speaking, it adds a lot of authenticity to that name and the posts that they see every day, which is in the form of text. So videos definitely have a lot of impact. But yes, again, I would not say that overdo the videos, because that also has a fatigue and your post may not be as engaging then. So always do a combo. That is the golden rule. Not one format, not one particular kind of posts will always get you engagement. Always a combination of different things would help. I'll stop here and ask if there are any questions. Saravjot, do we have anything in the chat box?
Yeah, we do have people putting in comments. We have Sajid Kumar giving us a comment that commenting has better engagement than posts for people who have less than 3,000 followers. Okay, we have Pooja Mangtani raising her hand. Yes, Pooja, you can unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, hi. So far the session has been great. Thank you for some great insights, Shivani.
Thank you, Pooja.
I just wanted to understand, when we say, what is the definition of good engagement on a post that we share on LinkedIn?
Sure. See, again, a great question, Pooja. Good engagement is when you see people. So there is something known as impressions on LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
that is the first indicator of the reach of your post. Okay. So which means that, so what impressions means is that, let's say if you see 1,000 impressions, so that means this post has been visible to 1,000 people. Now, out of those 1,000 people, if there is only 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 likes, maybe, then I would say the engagement is low. Likes is one thing, but the real engagement comes with comments. Okay.
Comments,
So
okay.
how many comments, how much of interest is your post garnering? Because if people are interested in your post, they will comment on it. There will be discussions on that topic. And the more people comment, the more visibility and the impressions of that post will increase. So your impressions also go, and impressions also increase, which means that when your impressions are increasing, what that means is that your post is getting to a lot many more people. So
Right. So
it's all linked. Yeah.
not just the impressions, but comments, and also the reactions basically talk about
The
how good the
reactions,
post
and
is.
also how many people are reposting it.
Reposting.
That's also an indicator of how good your engagement is, or how good your content is. Because you would want to repost something that you really like or you resonate with. You won't just repost anything like that, right?
Right. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Shivani.
You're welcome.
Vibhuti, you can also unmute and say your question.
Yes, Shivani, my question is basically for the last point that you mentioned. Can you help us in understanding the journey from writing or commenting? Commenting is that carries on, but writing a post on LinkedIn to making visual appearances, because I believe that is also a journey, right? And I am just trying to imagine how that journey looks like.
So you mean to say the transition or the combination that I spoke about? Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I get understand the combination of posts, likes, long posts, short posts, right? But when it comes to videos, creating videos,
Yeah.
that is I believe that's a bit of a little different game altogether, right? Because you are completely posing yourself out. So what is the journey, how the transition happens, or what is the combination that is being done? And everybody might not be very comfortable with going
True.
with videos, but they want to go.
True. Very, very good question. Again, Vibhuti, I think comes straight from the heart. Love the question. Agree with you. A lot of people are not comfortable with videos, but it's again what you put your mind to. And if you put your mind to it, you will work on it. So how you will work on it, how I started, was that I invested a little bit in getting a good camera, getting a ring light, and I started first practicing. Okay, because what happens in a video is a video is not just what you say. It's a whole lot of other things. It's a whole lot of aesthetics. It's a whole lot of so all that is easy. Okay, it's easy. You invest in something, you get it, you have the setup and all of that. What is difficult is to speak. Okay, what is difficult is to make the video. That is where the mindset is required. So for me, what personally worked was when I that investment that I did was a kind of a motivator, that okay, now I have everything set up, I've spent my money, now I better make videos. And I started off. How I started off, I used to write the scripts in advance, practice them, record on Zoom. I used to practice them on Zoom, record them, replay them, keep on replaying. So there initially you would need some time, you would need to invest some time, but eventually when you get used to it, then it becomes a cakewalk to record a video. But it is a journey and it is in the mind. So if you put it to your mind that I have to record the videos, whatever works for you. For example, for me, spending all that money worked for me as a, okay, अब मैं ले आई हूँ तो अब मुझे करना है. That's what pushed me. But I did it. But it did take time. I won't say कि first time में ही हो गया. It did take time. You don't go. That time तो chat GPT was also not there कि मुझे video script मिल जाए कहीं से. So it had to take a lot of time. But
Yeah,
it's all in the
I
mind.
get. I understand. I think what I've realized personally with myself is that engaging with others post works best for me, because that's when I get some trigger of thought, and that's when new perspectives start coming in. But
Yeah.
when I want to write by myself, until and unless something has happened with me personally, the post doesn't come out at all.
Mm. So this happens with a lot of people. Like even I'm pretty consistent in posting on LinkedIn, but there are times when I get that writer's freeze. It's for real. It happens, and then that's the time when honestly I go off the platform. Now this is something controversial, because people say once you're on the platform, once you're there, you should not kuch bhi post kar do. But I am not the kuch bhi post karne wala person. I do take a digital detox. अच्छा पोस्ट होगा तो वापस engagement आ जाएगा. May take time for the algo to rework, but आ जाएगा. So because I'm not chasing followers, honestly, I'm not. So when that writer's freeze happens, it's always good to take a break, because that means that your mind also needs to just take that digital detox and come back fresh. जैसे हम छुट्टी लेते हैं, why do we take it? कि वापस आके अच्छे से काम करेंगे. The same thing happens on LinkedIn. Okay, let's move on. We've got
So,
lots of things to cover. Sorry, Saravjot, can I finish this?
there's one question, I think, and it's an important one from Ravi.
Hmm.
What's the difference between an article and a post?
Oh, great. Okay. Good question again. See, article is a long, so there's a limit. There's I think a 500 limit or some 500 or 1000 words limit, wherein you can go on LinkedIn, write an article and post it. So when somebody clicks on that, they'll be directed to the articles page, and your whole article will be, posted, will be visible. A post is like a short or a long post, but it is not, you're not uploading it as an article on LinkedIn. So it is right there for people to see. So when I scroll, if you've written an article, so it will show me that thumbnail of the article. I'll have to click on it and then it will take me to the article. But if you've written a post and I'm scrolling, it's right there in front of me to read. That is the difference. Okay, most engaging post types on LinkedIn. Some suggestions, what I have seen personally: personal stories with professional lessons, something human, something relatable. Doesn't have to be dramatic. Like, honestly, I feel this was dramatic, but I still put it. I was rejected 27 times before I landed my dream job. A little dramatic, maybe reality for somebody. But yes, it's human, it's relatable. The how-to posts, which are the tip-based posts. So teach something that is actionable. Okay. 5 ways to improve your LinkedIn headline. Now that's a topic. You choose your topic wisely, I would say. You're spending time on writing. Choose the topic that a lot of people would want to listen to or want to read about. Because if you're writing on something generic, it's already there. a lot of people would have written on it, it's available on the net, doesn't garner interest. But if it's something that, people may want to listen to, maybe you can do some research also. It's always good to do research on what are some of the trending topics that people want to listen to. Always good to do that. Real results, very powerful. Before, after, case studies, no calls. Here's what I did. And after 3 interviews, and after what I did, 3 interviews in 2 weeks. And how did I do it? Whatever. I wanted to attend a course, or I worked on my personality development, whatever you want to put. Why does it work? Because it is proof and it gives hope. Very powerful posts. Again, very, very powerful post. Hot takes on industry opinions. So this is a slightly tricky one, because if you're giving a very bold point of view, make sure there is solid logic to back it. Otherwise, it can go the other way around also. So, for example, job hopping is equal to growth. While everybody is saying that job hopping is not good, I'm writing job hopping is equal to growth. And here's why. Polarizing gets you high engagement. I know that, but I don't advocate that. The reason I put it here is because I know that it gives high engagement, but I do not advocate that at all. You can get enough engagement without having polarized posts. LinkedIn polls, I've already spoken about it. Very, very fast way to gain engagement. Because what happens, it's only one click that I have to do. Topic sounds interesting. I'll just click a button and share my vote, or maybe comment on it. So again, it's interactive. And what it does, it boosts your visibility. May not be as engaging, but visibility boost definitely there. Carousel sliders. Carousels are slightly long. So you should very judiciously use them for topics that need a slightly longer explanation. Okay. I saw somebody making a carousel on the recent vacation that they had. And I was wondering why. Why would you want somebody to scroll your pictures? What's the value add? It beats me. But carousels, for example, if you're talking, let's say in the coaching parlance, Saravjot, if we are talking about the Johari window, or if you're talking about the power of silence, the power of pause, that is a topic which would require some amount of a detailed explanation. So I would probably use a carousel for that.
Yeah.
So it's a thought provoking, it's a knowledge sharing post. So carousels are good for that. But these take time. So only people who would want to spend that time would engage on these posts. Milestones, announcements with gratitudes. These are usually posts that should not be boastful. For example, 5 years of coaching, here's what no one tells you. So 5 years of coaching is good, but again, what's the value add? What did I learn in those 5 years, which nobody told me? That's what will garner engagement. I also believe that sometimes it's okay to share personal posts, especially how that is shaping you up as a professional. For example, so I'm a biker, very passionate about biking. So I share a lot of times how biking, how I enjoy it, how it is, in that wheel of life, how it is important to me, where, following my passion is extremely important. And how, what all I have learned from it. The power of being patient, the concentration, the focus. It's amazing. And I learned biking when I turned 40. So I that is one big achievement that I feel, because I feel there's no age for learning. So posts like that, where you're sharing your personal journey, does resonate with people. But again, it shouldn't be something that you just make up. It shouldn't be that also. I've seen people just wanting to post some aspect of their life, and maybe it's real, not real, we don't know, but no takeaways. Again, posts that ask for advice, posts that ask for opinions are the posts where you are actually inviting people to comment and engage with your posts. So but in everything here, what matters is the topic that you choose. So to choose your topics very wisely. Rather than what you want to write, think of what your audience wants to hear. That's the key. So it's not about me, it's about them. Okay. Format matters, but intent matters more. That's the key here. Saravjot, do we have any questions on this?
No, I don't think any questions of late.
Okay.
We have about 10
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, another important part here that I thought should definitely be spoken about. How do I showcase my work without being salesy? Salesy is like, selu, like advertising. So some of the things that have worked for me: teach, don't tell. Share your work subtly. I've already spoken about this example. So instead of saying, I write CVs, reach out to me, we do a stellar job with the CVs, I'll say, here's how I helped a client rewrite their CV using the STAR method. No pitch. I'm not saying come. If you want to explore the STAR method, come to me, get your CV written for me. No pitch, just the method. So what I'm telling my network is, I do write CVs, I do write it using the STAR method, and here's how it impacted a client or helped the client in getting a job. So it's subtle marketing. That's the power of LinkedIn. Give more than you take. I always believe in this. Free checklist, free advice in comments, formats, spotlights. See, it's not about, a lot of people say, why are you sharing your content? I can share the content, but nobody can take away my own flavor from that, right? So if I'm a facilitator, I'm a trainer, if I'm sharing the key takeaways or the learning objectives or the content or what I did in that, nobody can take my facilitation skills and go and replicate it, right? So you have to be really secure in your skin to be able to do that. But it always helps. The more you give, the more this network, this platform gives back to you. So don't shy away in sharing whatever resources you have. I see, Guiding Light Collective's head coach, Shrikant. So many frameworks he shares on LinkedIn, so many coaching frameworks he shares. And that's the kind of, the security in your skin that I call that sharing with frameworks does not, cannot make somebody a great coach. It is a lot many other things. So
Absolutely.
I think it's a beautiful way to build credibility for what you do. Share as much as you can. Share your knowledge. Um, okay, so it's like they say that share your recipe. Nobody, but you can share your recipe, but you are the secret sauce that nobody can take away. So I very resonate with that. Educate through storytelling. I've already said, try and write your posts in the form of stories. Stories resonate with people. हमको बचपन में कहानी सुना के सब सिखाया जाता था, because there was a science to that. That when you tell a child a story on moral science, let's say, okay, you should not cheat or you should not steal. But when the child hears it in the form of a story, the child runs those visuals in his or her mind and connects with what is being taught, and then sees the value of what is being said as a lesson. So the same thing holds true for adults. We are all by nature visual people who like to visualize things in our minds, and anything that gets visualized in our minds gets connected very quickly. Uh, Ask, don't assume, run polls, ask for opinions, start discussions. You're building a community and not just a client list. Okay, any questions here?
I have one question. Sorry, I have many
Yes,
questions. Yes.
yes.
So, yeah. So, Shivani, my question here is, I think it is regarding the network and the connections, right? So, in desperation and in moments of weakness, or sometimes we are blur about that, we don't know with whom to connect, we tend to send requests to very different, very maybe we focus on designations, we focus on something which is relatable to us in terms of maybe HR, product managers, or CEOs, or it. My point is there, how one should think to expand their network? What I have been realizing is that one expansion of network gives multiple perspectives, but at the same time, there are times when you also stuck with the same kind of network and you see the same kind of post again and again with the same people.
Yeah, yeah. So again, depends on what kind of people you want to connect with. I have seen people usually connect with a lot of job recruiters. There's one recruiter that I saw, she had some 45,000 followers, never posted anything on LinkedIn, no engagement, no commenting, but just because of the designation in some big company, she's a talent acquisition lead, so many followers. So point is, depends on who you want to connect with. So you need to identify your network. And one beauty with LinkedIn is that if you have, let's say, if I want to connect with other content creators and learn from their content. So if I write in the search bar content creator, and then I click on people, it will give me all content creators. I can pick and choose who I want to connect with. So you choose who you want to connect with. If you're looking at, let's say, a financial expert, somebody who can advise you, or a financial advisor, again, go use the search bar to grow your network. You choose your network. And in that also, you can scroll and see who are the people who will be able to add value to you, honestly. There are many people who are just existing there, but will not be able to add any value. So this needs time. If you really want to grow a meaningful network, you have to spend a little time on it.
Okay.
Okay, we've already spoken about this, meaningful comments. Yeah, and this is what you just mentioned. So connect with people in your field, authors of the post, and anybody basically you feel who can add value. Now, one of the things, like, see this note here, when you like, one of the ways to connect with somebody is when you like their post, you comment on it. You can also separately send them a message saying, hi, I loved your post on this topic, would love to stay connected. So you are not just randomly sending a message to anyone that you want to be connected with them. You've sort of given an indication that you have, engaged on their post, you've loved their post, and you want to connect with them. These kind of comments, when somebody sends something like this to me, there is no way I will not respond to this, because it just warms up your heart that you did see my post and you liked it, and you want to connect. So definitely a two-way engagement here. Okay, now we've so far done spoken on what we should do on LinkedIn. Equally important is what we should not do on LinkedIn. That's the last part here, which is what not to do on LinkedIn. Very quickly, I'll take you through it. So, like I said, don't sell in the first hello. Hi, I help coaches 10x their revenue. Want to hop on a call? Answer is no. For 99.9% people will say no. You don't know me. You do you know that do I need 10x revenue, or I already have 10x revenue? Please tell me. What do you know about my business? What do you know about my coaching journey? So always build rapport first. Know the people that you want to reach out to. If you're wanting to make a sales pitch to somebody, first invest in knowing them. What are their needs? And then make a pitch to them. Don't be a ghost connector. A lot of us are guilty of this, sending requests with no message, connecting, and never engaging again. So that's not the way you will really meaningfully engage with people here. So if you've connected with someone, do make it a point to engage with them, over a period of time. Add a personal note, show up, be human. Yes, this is something real. Please don't treat LinkedIn like Instagram. Personal messages are to be used with caution. Avoid posting, like I said, only personal life updates unless there are takeaways for people on this. This is a professional platform. It's okay to be personal, but make it professional personal, as in some takeaway from whatever personal post that you're putting in the professional arena as well. Don't copy paste quotes without context. So some people just write, success is not final, failure is not fatal, Churchill. No caption, no contest, no engagement, obviously. Tell us why it matters to you. Why have you shared this post? So point is reflect, don't just repost. Don't be inactive for months and then spam. So vanish for 6 months. This happens a lot. You'll see people posting every day. And this is why I say, please refrain from posting so frequently. Every day you're posting, there is bound to be fatigue. And then there's a time when you just suddenly go away for 6 months and then you again come back. That's very inconsistent. And connect randomly, like Vibhuti's question that I just answered. Choose your network meaningfully. For example, if you want to build a relationship with a thought leader or a potential mentor, follow them first, engage over a period of time, and then connect when there's a real moment to do so. That's when you will also see reciprocation. Okay, that's the end. It's dot 8 o'clock. I have ended the
Good time.
workshop here. So last one for you guys. Which of these would you like to work on first? Here's a short poll. Lakshan, can we have the poll?
I think for me, it's my engagement strategy.
I think profile and engagement strategy are the top
For,
ones.
for me, it's my
For a lot
thought
of
leadership.
Yeah. Sorry, somebody was putting in. Pooja,
I said Saravjot Vibhuti here. I said it.
okay,
I
okay.
said
Okay.
for
Thought
me, it is
leadership.
my thought leadership because I believe everything is there inside. It just didn't come out. That's the catch.
Okay.
Yes. So
Pooja,
when
you
you
can
put your
unmute.
mind to it,
Yeah.
sorry.
Pooja, you can unmute, please, and
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, two quick questions, Shivani, basis all the insights that I've had in this session. One you said that posting every day or posting something not very close to your heart may not fetch a lot of engagement and may not get you the desired result.
Yeah.
But so is there any reverse engineering? Like if I still if I continue doing it, will it have a reverse effect on my followers or people who look up to me?
Absolutely. I've seen people start unfollowing. See, because when you are posting very dated content, when you're posting content that is very generic, what is the value add? Like Krishnan said, no, that I throw the people out of my network who don't add value to me. So a lot of people are like that. So it may have a reverse engineering as well, backward firing, wherein you may start losing your followers. So the key here is think from your, it's like step into the shoes of your audience and think what they would like to hear from Pooja. What do they want Pooja to speak on? What
Okay.
is Pooja's expertise? And how can, what Pooja's expertise is, how can that help me in my professional journey? When you craft your posts from that mindset, automatically, your posts will start becoming relevant to your audience.
So these are not very random posts that I do. What I do, like it's a good 30-45 minutes content that I see on different social media, and then I feel that okay, this is something that I would want to pick it up and put my thoughts onto it and then post. So even that, then that is wrong, or that is okay?
No, that's not wrong at all. If you've done your research and
Yeah.
you feel that this is also a topic that I want to take up and express my own genuine opinions on it,
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Shivani, just one other question. Is it so? I am someone who's active on LinkedIn and not there on other social media networks like your Instagram, Facebook. So is it will it still hamper somewhere, or
No.
that is absolutely
LinkedIn is the only social media that I'm very active on. I'm not.
Yeah.
I have profiles on Facebook and Instagram, but those are just fun private profiles. Nothing,
Yeah.
no gyan there.
Okay.
And there is no linkage between the two of them, unless you have a company. So now I'm not equating my profile to my company's page. For a company's presence, for a business presence, yes, of course, all social medias are important. Or if you're in a, let's say in a B2C kind of a service where your TG is also on Instagram. For example, we are also on Instagram because we do professional mentoring. We do interview preparedness, we do LinkedIn profiling, we do CV creation, all of that. Now, most of our TG is more active on Instagram, which is the
Need of
mid-career
the hour also.
professionals,
Yeah.
and the youngsters, and less on. But for the B2B work that we have, which is around training, consulting, OD, all of that is on LinkedIn. So we have to be active on both the platforms. So depends on where your TG is.
Sure. Answers the questions. Thank you, Shivani.
Yes,
Thank you.
Ravi, you can unmute.
I have no questions, Shivani. I just wanted to say thanks. It was a wonderful session. Many of it, I've been doing some researching on this topic myself. I have found a lot of things, but the way you simplified it was simply superb. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I love this part, so I would like to connect with you.
Absolutely. Please do it. Thank you so much. And for everyone here, thank you for joining today. If there are still any more questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. My profile is there. You'll find it by Shivani Malhotra, Positive Vibes Consulting. I can also put it in the chat box.
Yeah, I think
Please
that would be
connect
good.
with me. It'll really be a pleasure to connect and to hear from you in terms of how you found today's webinar, and if there's anything specific that you'd like to know on LinkedIn. Like I said, we also do help people in optimizing LinkedIn profiles and a whole lot of other things, but I'm not selling that here. But would definitely love to make some meaningful connections with all of you. Thank you for sparing time on a Friday evening and coming, for this workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for
And
joining in.
Saravjot, thank you. You've been a great host.
Oh, my pleasure.
Great. One second, I'm not able to paste the link. I don't know what is happening. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Just share it with everyone.
All right. So thank you so much, Saravjot, Shivani, this entire team for organizing this. And it was very insightful, Shivani. I was just checking your profile and got to know that we are connected already on LinkedIn.
Okay, great.
that-
Great to know that.
yeah.
Now we need to turn into a meaningful connection with each other also, and not just
Yes,
discover ourselves on LinkedIn.
yes, without ghosting and without being behind
Yes.
the curtain.
Yes.
So awesome to know a lot of intricacies, a lot of small things, a lot of do's and don'ts. Thank you so much, Shivani, for sharing all the best
Thank you.
practices, being so selfless. It really meant a lot. And I have a friend also who actually joined on my invitation.
Hello.
So,
Hi.
so
Nice to meet
I
you.
Good to
yes,
see you.
we are joining you from France, and
Oh, wow. Awesome.
yes. So I'm from
Superb.
Bangalore. I'm here for international MBA, Shivani. Uh,
Okay.
I'll be coming back in June. So I have this friend
Superb.
here. So I thought, let me share this invitation. So she was available, luckily, to join this, workshop, and I just told her,
That's
why don't you
great.
join? So she was,
That's super. Super
It
yes.
cool.
was really interesting. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. What's your name? What's your name?
Anais?
Anais. Nice to see
Yeah.
you, and thanks for being here, Anais.
It's a
Really
pleasure.
good to see you.
I learned a lot. It was really inspiring. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
joining.
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Have a good evening. Have a good
And a
weekend. Take
splendid
care.
weekend. And
Thank
lots of
you.
posts coming in from today's insights.